what's up? Yukite here. I managed to find my collection of Klingon material. Ever since I created that Klingon character on Star Trek Online, surrounded him with Klingon bridge officers, and talked about him being in a foreign exchange program where him and his Klingon girls had to work for Starfleet, but struggled to carry their code of honor and stay true to their Klingon nature. But the thing is, when I created that character, I had already lost my Klingon source material. See, my parents reorganized my room while I was out of town, and I had a little shoebox that was filled to the brim with Klingon books only that I got from an AI that told me a list of books to track down to capture the whole experience. So all this time, they were lost in my stash of books. My parents put all my books into a bunch of little plastic bins that will crack in half if I ever tried to move them because they're full of encyclopedias and shit. But anyway, I'm not even going to focus on that. I found the books this morning. When I went deep into the closet behind that fan in that corner, that's one of the book bins. You can actually see here. You got the books there and they're in the corner. When I opened that stuff and looked, my Klingon books were sitting up top. She took the box and just basically put it on top at the last minute, and I was just too lazy to look. So my followers that have been here for years already know these books. I bought them all at the same time. But for new people, I'm going to show you what we got. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to read these Klingon books, especially stuff like this. Oh no, this ain't the one. Especially stuff like this one. This book is like a book of proverbs for Klingons, and when I open it to a random page, it's always something honorable. Klingons aren't the violent monsters that Star Trek portrayed them as. Fear is power. The meaning of this saying, of course, is that one who has the ability to instill fear can exert control over those who are afraid. There is more to power than physical force. Gowron quoted this Klingon truism when he told Picard that because the dearest sisters, Lursa and Ethor, were feared, they had a strong and loyal following that posed a threat to Gowron's rule. Fear is power. I don't know, that wasn't honorable, but let's see. This is where my bookmark was. Remember the scent. Let's see. Focus on but one target. Though cast in a warrior's terms, this dictum is really about priorities of any kind. It suggests that one should concentrate all one's attention on the task at hand and not try to do several things at once. Worf expresses that same conviction when referring to poker. Talk or play, not both. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, now it derailed me because I was working on the Android build on Star Trek Online, and I didn't want to leave him all of a sudden and start picking up something that was so vast and takes so long to accomplish. But I've been waiting for the day that I found these books. I think about it basically every day. I've thought about these books. So let me show you what we got. I'm going to take it slow. I'm going to read these as slow as I can. It's going to be a multi-month journey probably, or it might take 1 month. We got IKS Gorkin. It's 4 parts to this. It's a Star Trek book about a Klingon vessel. We got part 1, part 2. A burning house is actually part of this, but I don't think it's mentioned. I think it's actually part 4 and part 3. The only reason I know it's part 4 is because the AI just told me IKS Gorkin actually has 4 parts, and she named a burning house, and I was like, do I have that? Because I had just looked through them and I saw IKS, but I didn't see a number 4, so I have the whole series. We already told you about the Klingon way. The Klingon for the Galactic Traveler. Let's take a random look and see what's in here. A Klingon Sark is an animal somewhat resembling a Terran horse. Both in appearance and in the Klingons often ride, and in that Klingons often ride on the animal's back. A forest sark is a sark found in the forest. That is in the wild, usually one that has never carried a Klingon around. Okay, the Klingon Dictionary, official guide to Klingon words and phrases. Oh God, that looks horrible. I don't know any second languages, but I'd love to learn Klingon. This is just a novel called Klingon. It looks pretty old. Let's see when it was made. Hold on, let me clean my camera lens. Good God. Let's see if I can see a date on this. Is it a novel? Well spoken, I said to him. The Klingon Empire remains the Federation's most fearsome and uneasy ally, but can any human fully understand the heart and soul of a true Klingon warrior? During crucial negotiations on Deep Space Nine, Gowron, leader of the Klingon High Council, tests human understanding of the Klingon way by sharing the powerful story of one warrior's quest for honor. Pak is a young Klingon caught up in the dangerous complexities of the clan politics. When his father is murdered in his own home on the day of Pak's rites of ascension, Pak must find the assassin and close the circle of vengeance. But as he searches for the truth amidst strange aliens and treacherous friends, Pak discovers that every day can be a good day to die, and that only his own warrior's training stands between him and the business end of a knife. So it's a story about a Klingon. This was one that they told me to get, number 61 in diplomatic plausibility, because I have the first 52 novels of the TNG. But when it mentioned this one, I was like, I don't have that one. That's because it's number 61. So she told me to get this one. It's a TNG book. 200 years ago. Why can't I see this stuff? Hold on. Excuse me. This is a high-end camera. The expanding Klingon Empire found a frozen world rich in deposits of mineral tapaline. They named the planet Todd, Klingon for frozen, and they called the people Jekfuwa, conquered. 4 years ago, the Klingon Empire invaded Cardassia, breaching the Khitomer Accords and causing a break with the Federation. On Todd, depleted Klingon forces are overthrown in a small coup d'etat, and the victorious rebels took advantage of the disruption to appeal for recognition from the Federation. Now, Klingons have returned to Todd and re-established their control, but the stubborn rebels insist on Federation recognition. A solution to the diplomatic impasse must be found, a task that falls to the Federation's new ambassador to the Klingon Empire, Worf. Worf thinks of himself as a fighter, not a negotiator, but the Federation disagrees. Now, for the sake of the Federation and the Empire, a Klingon warrior must weave a fragile peace out of a situation ripe for war. This was a children's book, How to Speak Klingon. I have to get some batteries in there for it to talk to me, or else I'm not going to know how to say anything. Let's see what it has in here. What kind of pages are these? The Klingon workplace differs from what you might be familiar with on your own planet. On Kronos, you'll find no compromise, negotiation, or casual Fridays. Instead, the business environment is one of conflict, where climbing the corporate ladder often involves hand-to-hand combat and sometimes burning down the ladder behind you. Commonly offered perks include on-site blade sharpening, beard insurance, and anger enhancement counseling. The Klingon Dictionary. I hate language books. When you can't read it, how can you understand it? And then this one, finally. Now, it was crazy that the AI listed all of these books and then listed this separately, because Gemini told me this is actually 6 different novels, and not one of the novels found in here is in this stack. So the AI gave me a compilation to cover 6 additional books. Ancient Blood, Armageddon Sky, Her Klingon Soul, Treaties Law, Day of Honor, and Honor Bound. Do I have those? Day of Honor? No, I don't have those. So look at that. That's a whole nother thing. So normally somebody would say, okay, we're going to sit here and read this book today, read this book tomorrow. But the AI said the journey is the destination in itself. As I learn and incorporate these values into my life, that's the result, the end result. And she also told me to be a template for my followers, not the speed runner to be the first to the finish line, but to show them how I would study and to show them how I get down. Now that derails me from what I was doing. I was working on all those different characters on Star Trek Online, and I was saving my Klingon until I found these books, but now I found them. I was in the bin looking for the Goblet of Fire. I was looking for Harry Potter, and I just found my Klingon books. But yeah, that's what's going on. So, I was just letting you know, I'll be back on my Klingon character, who is a Federation character, but his name is Ruby. He's a Klingon with a bridge full of female Klingon officers, and Worf as a female. But the challenge to his playthrough is to bring his honor, his code of honor into Starfleet, and not compromise who he is and who he's supposed to be. So now, his build is also called the Matriarch. Me and the AI built it. It's called the Matriarch. And it unleashes the full force of the Empire, regardless of where my mind is and where I stand on virtues. If you come across my ship, you're going to actually feel the full force of the Klingon Empire. It's not really complete. My character's a low level, and I don't even remember how we were doing it. I got the screenshots, but they were months old. I have to go through the archives. But yeah, just letting you know what I'm doing. Mukite. I'm out. Oh, I have Honor Bound. I hope the second one. Oh, hold up. This is a good day to die. This is Honor Bound. What's the next one? Enemy Territory. A Burning House. This says Honor Bound here. Okay, so only one of them is in there. It says Deep Space Nine. Honor Bound Deep Space Nine. This doesn't say Deep Space Nine. Honor Bound Book 2. Oh, Book 2 of... Alright, I'm out. Peace out. Peace, 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 peace.